Hey guys, this is Sean McGarry coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the music salon where great things happen. Hope everyone's doing awesome out there. Got a great little lesson today. But hey man, before we get started today, I've got to do a little personal tribute and talk about something here. So just bear with me for a second. Lost a good buddy in part of last week and part of our community here on this YouTube channel. His name was Mark Ellis, and I'm just going to talk about him for a minute here. Mark was really the first guy I met on my YouTube channel. I started this thing about 7 months ago, man, with I think 12 subscribers. And shortly thereafter, I put a couple videos up, and I got a call from this guy named Mark, and he was from Michigan, and I'm wearing my shirt today to pay a little tribute to Mark. And he wanted to take lessons from me. He lived in Cincinnati now, and so he came in to the music salon. And man, we became buddies really quick. We shared a lot of things in common. He was the nicest guy in the world, man. I loved Mark. He passed away unexpectedly last Friday. We had a lesson scheduled last Friday. And I've been pretty tore up over it, man. It just, you don't expect those things sometimes. I know this is life and we get older. And a couple of things, man, like on my videos, Mark was such a sweet, generous guy, man. Like I've got this sitting back, if anybody's ever noticed, he knew, I'm buddies with Guthrie, and Guthrie Trust, one of my biggest idols as far as guitar, and he does my guitar workshops. You hear me talk about all the time. But he was gracious enough when he went up to see him and Tom Bukovac. He bought the CD for me, had him sign it, and so man, I'm just really sad, and I just want to pay honor to Mark today. He was part of this community. He was my first friend I made from this channel. There's been many since, many great friends, but I don't know what to say other than God bless him and God bless his family, and music can bring us together. So please keep him and his family in your mind and your prayers today when you're watching this video. And I'm going to do this video in dedication to Mark today. This is nothing that necessarily musically ties us together, but it's just a random video I'm doing today, and I just want to, this is for you, Mark. Okay, so this lesson today, I really want to show about how to use triads to make rhythms. Okay, so I was kind of jamming on this reggae rhythm at the beginning. I was just trying to come up with something to jam over, and I was playing a little bass line. Let's see, I don't even know what I was doing. Something like that. So kind of a minory vibe, right? And just this kind of one, and I got my reggae secondhand from Andy Summers. I grew up a huge Police fan, and remember start learning songs like "Walking on the Moon" and "Roxanne." Maybe not that per se as reggae, but like his style, his clean style, his right hand, just very reggae influence. So, and then of course I got into it, later on with the Bob Marley and stuff like that, get into the real authentic stuff. So what I want to show you is a nice little trick today, how to use triads and tie them together for rhythms. And you can really use this over anything, but again, I use this little reggae vibe, and I was just doing this kind of what they call the skank guitar. So I don't know if this is necessarily a reggae lesson per se. I guess it kind of is, but it's more about how to use these triads. Okay, I just like it over this context. But you can use it over any genre of music you want. So I'm just vamping over this like one minor chord. And first of all, let's talk about that sound. If you want to get that into that sound, and it's real easy. If you want to just think about the counting of it, it's on the ands or the twos and the fours. So a lot of rock music comes in on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, that kind of thing. And the reggae is just on the offbeats. So if you count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and you would come on an and, a lot of upstrokes too. Like I'll start with an upstroke. So you could do downstrokes, but again, I prefer the upstroke vibe to get that pure sound, and they call that the skank guitar. And a lot of times that true skank guitar, I used to listen to a lot of ska back in the day, and this was back before YouTube. You had to figure that stuff out on your own, and I couldn't even figure out the chords sometimes. And to me, that was the mark of a good guitar player, when you really can't tell the exact voicing he's using because it's so tight and muted. A lot of that funk stuff, that James Brown stuff was like that. So anyway, that's kind of the vibe. It's just playing those upstrokes on the twos and fours, So what I did today is over that vamp, right? Let me just play a little bit for you here. I just start with this groove. Well, that's going to get pretty boring kind of quick, right? Depending on what's going on around you. You know, if there's lots of instrumentation, that, you know, then you're holding your ground. But let's just say it's, you know, a trio or you're jamming by yourself. You want to add a little flavor to your rhythm. Well, what you can do is add the G chord, right? Okay, so just, you know, wherever you're playing that minor chord, just think on one whole step back and make that major, okay? So now if we do just a basic chord, look. Well, that A minor to G works over that one chord vamp. Sounds really good, right? And I think I did a lesson on here a few months back about jamming over Wrapped Around Your Finger by the Police, because that's a great example of this kind of style, you know. And that song is like, you know, let's see. Kind of laid back, but it's got that same idea that I'm about to show you today. So again, for vamping over that, watch this. I'm going to do it real simple. I'm going to play the bass line and play these two chords. And right away, almost like a keyboard player might play that, you know, play some different voicings, right? You know. Reggae vibe. Okay, so now what I want to show you, is using this up the neck with some triads. So now let's go up here, and I'm not going to show you every position on this, but this will get you started. So if we go up here, here's my A minor chord up here. So when I look off these chords, well, here's my E, B, and G string triads. So there's A minor, and I just take a whole step back, and really, if you look at this, I just move this back, and I'm changing one finger to make it major. So I'm going to stop right there for a second and kind of talk about why this works. So if I just think about what I'm playing an A minor. Well, let's think about the A natural minor scale, which is this. Okay, well that B note's important, because if we look at that, that's the major third of G major. Okay, I don't want to get too theory laden here, but you can just actually look at it with a chord. So here's A minor. Okay, here's G major. It's sharing this guy. You can see that major third is right from that G chord right there. So when I go, it kind of hints at that G chord. Therefore, that works over this. So it's a really nice way to vamp. So here I'm going A minor, G. So watch yourself play that for a second. Right, now we've got some movement going. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. Let me show you a few other positions. So now I'm just going to move it if I'm going down the neck with my triads. Well, here's my next A minor from this position. So here I'm going to go, voila. There's my D-shaped G right there. So I'm just moving these triads down. Here's my next one. A minor, G. So all together, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, G. You know, wrap it up back home. So that sounds great over a one chord vamp. Let me do it again. Okay, so that's it. Now, you know, I'll show you a couple other spots, like on the neck. I might use those for like looking at like 6 chords. So if I'm playing like this A minor up here, well, if I look at like an A minor 7, watch this. There's that 6 right in there. There's the G right from that shape. So I'm going. You can get funky with that stuff. But let's just look at these triads. So now I like this. I like this one a lot. It's kind of a nice meaty place in the neck here. So I'm playing this shape right here. Looks like a D7 shape. Well, look at this. There's my D, my G from the K system. So here I'm going. move that around. Check it out. Oh, sorry. So, you can find these all over the neck. I just want to get you started using an A minor to G. So find these positions all over. Now, last thing I do want to show you is like you can make cool little riffs out of this. Watch this. That's one of my favorite little licks to do because you can go up the triad and come back. So if I go up the A minor, slide down to that G position and come back that G. So I'll go, oh, sorry. Sounds really cool. So over the music, right here. Nice little phrasing. So you can play it anywhere, and you could look at it two different ways. Like when you play that B, I mean, you could say, okay, well, I'm in A natural minor, which you are. You could think of that's the major third of G, so it's that same principle. So I really love this little idea here, and I want you guys to practice that. So thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button, as always, and check out my Patreon page if you would. I've got a link below. And man, again, I want to give a special shout out to my buddy Mark. God rest his soul, man, and I'll be thinking about him and all these lessons here. And thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you. Have a great one.